There's a lot of people out there trying to control your narrative about the world of pro wrestling. What's real? What's fake? Is AEW just full of ex-WWE rejects, or is it something else entirely? Well, we came to this college campus to do some math and find out. My name's Michael. Welcome to Suplex. This is the Narrative Busters. We came to the local university in search of knowledge, in search of answers, in search, is AEW full of WWE rejects, or do they kind of have their own thing going on? So let's look at the numbers. The men's talent in AEW, there's 125 wrestlers. Now, if you look on the roster, there's actually 127, but two of those, one's -1 and the other one's Brody Lee, RIP. I think it's fair if we don't count them. Of the 125 wrestlers on the AEW men's roster, I counted 25 of them being ex-WWE guys, or what I would consider ex-WWE guys. You talking about anybody in NXT who had a long indie history before their brief time in NXT? Not a WWE guy. Those guys would have existed in AEW if it was around back then. I'm talking about the homegrown WWE talent. I'm talking about stars like Adam Copeland, Chris Jericho. I know you may want to say he's WCW, but he left before WCW folded. That makes him a WWE guy in my book. I'm talking about Andrade El Idolo. I know he made his stars in Mexico, but that's okay. Dax Hardwood, Dustin Rhodes. There's only 25 of those wrestlers in AEW. That's 20% of the men's roster, which is way less than even half of the men's roster. So for me, the men's roster is their own thing. Michael, what about the women's division? Okay, I got you. The women's division is made up of 34 wrestlers. Let's call it 35 because that math is a little bit easier. Of the women's division, I counted 5. Only 5 of 35 women, or 34 if you want to get technical about it, were ex-WWE people. What do I got? I got Athena. She had 6 years in the WWE. She should have had a bigger run, for sure. You also have Marina Shafir, WWE MMA person. We're counting her. I got Ruby Soho, despite her working with me at OVW in the Indies and Chikara for a while. You guys can have her. She had her own faction. We'll call her a WWE guy. Soraya, that's Paige, and Serena Deeb, who was a stalwart of the Straight Edge Society. And that's 15% for a total of how much of the AEW roster is ex-WWE people. That's 18.87%. And we came to this hall of knowledge because there's only one man whose math could be right on this, and that's Professor Scott Steiner. The numbers don't lie. 18.8% is not the entire AEW roster by a long shot. So those numbers don't lie, and it spells disaster for you trying to control my narrative. I'm Michael Baldwin. We've been the Narrative Busters. Subscribe to Suplex Media. I'll see you later.